Alright, Year of the Wolf is here. Woo, let's go! Core set update. So what does that mean? It means that with the next set release, next set that's coming out, most likely on the, is it 10th or 11th of April? It's not officially announced, but that's when the pre-orders stop. With the music expansion, there will also be a core set rotation. So some of the core cards are going to rotate out. And there's also going to be some new ones added in. So core cards are, of course, like it's the free cards that are in standard. The cards that are available to everyone. I don't know if it's showing right now properly, but yeah. Core cards are the free cards. If you log in, you have all the core cards available for your deck building for free. So those cards are changing, or some of them are. First of all, roadmap. Nothing too out of the ordinary here. Mercenaries was dropped this year. Last year they removed... So this is... Roadmap is like what they are... like the design plan for the year. So what they are working on and what to expect. What the players can expect, like all the stuff. So we have set rotation, card expansion, mini set, Battlegrounds, Tavern Brawl. Nothing out of the ordinary, really. Spell locked, it's something that they're not ready to announce or whatever, but it could be anything, just imagine it's up there. Like in-game events, balance updates, brawl, battle. It's all the things you expect. The only thing that has changed is that Mercenaries is gone now. Last year they booted duels out, and this year they are no longer supporting Mercenaries, so those are both now out. That is the only change this year, Mercenaries out. Alright, what do we have here? Throughout the Year of the Wolf, we'll be focusing our efforts on making Hearthstone and Battlegrounds best they can be. That's, yeah. Anything substantial. Over 70 cards being swapped out. Okay, let's look at the video. Why not?
Another exciting year of Hearthstone is right around the corner. My name is Cora, and today I'll be sharing some highlights from our 2023 core set update. The new core set goes live with the rotation of the Tavern Zodiac, where we'll say farewell to the Year of the Hydra and begin the Year of the Wolf. Two key things happen at this time that significantly change the Hearthstone Standard meta. First, the pool of eligible card sets for Standard will shrink, moving Forged in the Barrens, United in Stormwind, and Fractured in Alterac Valley from the Year of the Griffin out of Standard.
So one thing to point out that so every other class loses 3 sets, but Death Knight does not. So I'm still waiting to hear if they have any kind of plan to balance Death Knight or anything like that. I'm a little worried that they're not going to do anything and then it's going to be busted. Because, Guff is going out and all these hero cards, some of the best cards are going out. In particular, heroes are going out for other classes. But DK is not losing anything. But yeah, so these are the 3 sets that are going out, and then we have 1 new set coming in.
And into Wild. After rotation, Standard will include Voyage to the Sunken City, Murder at Castle Nathria, March of the Lich King, Festival of Legends, and the updated core set. The core set will remain the free baseline collection of cards that helps define class identities and synergies for the year. Before we dive into this year's core set updates, here's a quick look at some other 2023 plans. Battlegrounds has a full lineup of great content this year, including 3 seasonal updates with at least 1 major new system update, similar in scale to Buddies. A new record for BG content.
Eureka!
Season 3.
So, Battlegrounds players... Yay! So basically, it sounds like pretty much. I know it's. She said that which is record, but I think it sounded like it's gonna be the same as before. Basically, you get three major thingies and one just. It's the same as before. But that's good. That's good. The viewership is really high for Battlegrounds. Battlegrounds is very popular, so not a surprise, but still it's nice to hear.
3 kicked off featuring Putricide's dual minion mashup and the Undead as a new minion type. We also have an exciting shakeup for the Wild format planned for later this year, which includes new and updated cards, along with other fun surprises.
So that's something that worth paying note. If you are, because there are Wild players. I don't play Wild, but Wild has been a little lacking in balance, and there hasn't been that much attention for Wild. So that's a big yay, because I know some Wild players will definitely be happy about that. And it can be fun format if there's some favorite cards you want to play, but I think it's pretty casual, because there's no scene or no tournaments and anything, so it's kind of It's kind of like anything goes format, so it's super mega casual. But I'm still glad that they're giving it attention to have it stay as a fun format.
To breathe new life
Or
into
become more
memorable
fun.
cards from Hearthstone history. 2023 is a content-packed year for both Standard and Battlegrounds. Expect to see frequent balance updates, more special in-game events with great rewards, and regular feature improvements like a better way to open a lot of packs coming soon. Now,
Better way to open a lot of packs! Yay! No way! Open all packs, it's coming. Finally, after all these years. It takes like half an hour to open the packs every expansion. I freaking hate it, it's so annoying. I mean, it's not a big thing, like you only do it once, but it's still like, I'm opening my packs. Like, I know I'm gonna get all the cards, it's just I don't care in what order.
let's jump in and tour the new core set for the Year of the Wolf. When building out core sets, we like to start with large-scale items like keywords. And this year, we're excited to add magnetic to the mix. We've also heard a lot of wonderful feedback for tradable, a keyword from the Year of the Griffin. So it's being officially instated as an evergreen keyword you can expect to see for many.
Oh, muted? Oh, sorry. So I was saying that at the tradable, did I miss anything else? Okay, tradable and magnetic. You didn't miss anything else. So tradable, I'm like really excited about that. I think that's totally like I'm on board for having tradable be a core set mechanic. It's very simple, very fun, like very flexible. Works very well for control decks where you have like some kind of answer cards. It's just the perfect core set mechanic in my view, and that's totally cool. Magnetic is coming back, but that might be a seasonal thing, so they might rotate out. That's like okay, like, you know, Celiax is a fan favorite. It was a very, very popular card. Magnetic, as long as there's mechs, like, it kind of makes sense. That's a flavor thing for sure. Maybe it will make some mech decks a little bit better. There's a mention, but I'll shortly mention this because it's so relevant right now. So they mentioned on Twitter, I think Cora mentioned that there might be a mid-year rotation. Hold on, I need to find it. One thing you want to emphasize core set this year is flexibility. We're open to adding cards mid-year to support incoming archetypes and balancing. So this is one of those things that like, they're probably going to be more focused on like adding cards, but if they bring in a new mechanic, like it could be the mechanical that goes out, then magnetize could go out. So that's like the type of like tradable is here to stay, but the magnetize is not here to stay. So they could bring like, let's say like discard back for like Warlock. If Warlock gets discard cards, maybe they will mid-year add. So this was something I suggested like a few months ago, that maybe they could revisit the core set like twice a year or something. And I'm glad that they are planning on doing that. It might be mentioned later, but I thought it was very relevant with this magnetize in particular. Okay.
Years to come. We're also bringing back some fan-favorite legendary minions like Dr. Boom, Ragnaros the Fire Lord, and the Black Knight.
So Dr. Boom, Ragnaros, I mean, those are like some of the most iconic cards. Like, it's fine that they're back. I don't expect to see them like get that much play. Maybe Ragnaros, like you can have some fun with it in like Shaman, big Shaman, or some big decks. Maybe some big decks can have fun with it, but I think the time has maybe like gone by this Dr. Boom a little bit, but. So I don't think we're going to see it that much. But this is interesting. So they buffed Black Knight to 4 mana 4/4. Destroy an enemy minion with Taunt. So that's really interesting like as a meta tech card. He's also undead now. I don't remember if he was undead before, but at least now he is. If something in the meta is dominating that has a lot of taunts, like that would be totally like viable. I don't know. Maybe. I don't expect it to be like a default. I don't expect, the time of Black Knight is here, but it's a cool deck option to have. Can keep it in the back of the mind.
Which you may notice looks a little bit different. Some other notable neutral adds include Tour Guide, Cult Neophyte, Glacial Shard, and
Dorky Rat! He's back, baby! This is my favorite card of all time. Many of you probably knew that already, but Hand Disruption for 2 mana, and it's a taunt. So, the type of decks that I play are control decks, and this is exactly the type of like resource exhaustion card, because I like running my opponent out of cards and beating them in value. So, and it's also like it's just fantastic, dude. Like, if you have like a brawl in your hand, you have 7 mana, you go for like brawl, and well, there is like the call to stand for warriors, but other classes don't have that. So this is like a neutral call to stand almost. So if you're playing something else, you have disruption options now. I'm so happy they brought it back. Cult Neophyte has seen some play in Rogue in particular, like and Tempo decks. So we could see this like at Shadow Step a few times or something. I'm not excited about Cult Neophyte being back because usually it's in aggro where you like you slow your opponents. This could be exactly the type of thing that like you have a Rogue location and then like Rogue location you go Neophyte on Shadow Step if you don't have anything else. You could have it's probably not the primary Shadow Step target, but you could go like Neophyte, Shadow Step, like, you know, and then have an 11/11 Ghost and spells cost more, they can clear. Glacial Shard is just like, it's pretty alright, elemental, but yeah, I'm excited about the rat.
Dirty Rat. These additions mean we have to say goodbye to some others, so Bran Bronzebeard, Sir Finley Murgleton, Reno Jackson, and Elise Starseeker will be heading off on some Explorers League business for...
Okay, so Bran is gone, thank God. Okay, we kind of figured that would be the case, but now it's confirmed. We know 100% Bran is out, chat. I don't know why they rotated Reno. I guess it's went with the Explorers just to like because Reno is still like pretty fun card. I wouldn't be surprised if, let's say, next year they brought Reno back and also brought like Kazakusan. Like, I feel like we're gonna see more Reno maybe next year. But remember, the Finley that rotates is not the hand swap Finley. It's the change hero bar Finley. There are two Finleys, guys. There are two Finleys. So the one that leaves was the shitty one. So actually, it doesn't matter. Don't panic. Don't be sad. This is the one that goes out. The good Finley stays for another year. It's from Voyage, so we're good on that.
Next, let's dig into highlights for each class. Priest is a class that was built around the core identity of healing, but healing tends to be weaker than other class identities, like dealing damage, drawing cards, or even gaining armor. Changing this identity didn't make sense thematically, so instead, we chose to make healing more rewarding in situations where your minions are at full health, with our new keyword, Overheal. Overheal is similar in scope to other class-specific keywords like Combo or Overload, and we'll continue to print Overheal cards in future sets and expand on it as a keyword going forward. In addition to Overheal...
So that might be like it might be a fun mechanic to play, or it might be pretty like, you know, cool, but it doesn't really tickle my pickle when I'm like just looking at it right now, like Overheal. It's not something that I'm like excited to do, like Overheal my minions. Which is gonna have to. I'm gonna try to hold judgment on that one and see how it feels when I actually play the cards. But right now, it's not really like something that would excite me.
Overheal, we've made a number of balance changes to priest cards like Draconid Operative, Psychic Conjurer, and Holy Nova, including attack, health, mana cost, and tech.
So this one, that's actually a really good card now. It has to be, right? Operative is like, it's pretty interesting because it was almost good at 5/6. You lose just a little bit too much tempo, but that is this is an interesting thing that happened here. Even the Conjurer, because I've been trying to play Thief Priest, but it's not quite there. So we'll see. And Holy Nova, pretty like insignificant change, but it hits the face again. So it was already 4 mana. So it used to be 5 mana deal 2 to all enemies. Then it was 4 mana deal 2 to all enemy minions. So now it's all enemies again. So you deal 2 to face, but I mean the decks that play Holy Nova are control decks, so you don't really care about you know, damaging your opponent's face. I mean, whatever.
Xbox changes. We're also bringing back Katrina Muerte with some small changes to
So this one has been reworked. At the end of your turn, resurrect another friendly undead. I mean, it could... No, quest is rotating out, right? I'm not, like, immediately sure where I would play this, but, I mean, I'm okay. Like, sure, like, yeah, cool. Like, welcome. Like, you can have the 6 mana 3/7 or something. Or does that rotate out too? I don't remember which one rotate out and stuff, but yeah, that's also, like, kind of whatever. Maybe it'll be good.
Reinforce Undead as a minion type specific to Priest. Cards like Radiant Elemental, Northshire Cleric, and Lyra the Sunshard will be rotating out of the Priest core set.
Radiant Elemental out! That's 2 out of 3. We got 2 out of 3 out. Shadow Step is still in, unfortunately, but 2 out of 3 of the most hated cards. I need to play some Svalna before it goes out, but yeah, I'm not gonna miss it. Like, it's such a stupid, broken thing to play cards for 0.
To make room for cards like Crimson Clergy, Shadow Ascendant, and the new and improved Mana Geode.
Overheal. Summon a Crystal. Some tempo. 2/3. Pretty mid. I mean, it's an undead, so maybe because this is huge that it's undead. Yeah, pretty mid. If there's something that lets you like repeatedly heal, Like, if you had a Maki role as a priest, this would be really good. But as it is right now, like, I don't really see it as being something giga amazing. But we'll see what other cards come out. Like, maybe there will be enough synergy. But these are kind of like, whatever.
Because Death Knight just got their core set, we're gonna wait to make adjustments, but we do look forward to expanding on their rune identities throughout the year.
So they're gonna wait to make adjustments to DK. So there's a chance at least now that they will not do anything to DK until the season begins. Like, that seems like the most likely thing. And it's really hard to evaluate, but DK was pretty top tier. I've talked about this a little bit. And, like, Druid is losing Guff, and, like, there's a lot of things that the other classes are losing. And DK is not losing anything. That is very scary. That is a very scary thought that we're going to have a rotation, new expansion, and then, like, DK is going to be running all over the place, and we just, like, you can't play the new cards. It might not happen. I'm not saying it will happen. But, like, there's so many good cards. Mostly the heroes, but other cards too that other classes are losing. It's scary, but we'll see. We'll see. It's very hard to evaluate.
Here, Demon Hunter had a really strong showing last year, but it is losing powerful pieces in the standard rotation.
Thank God.
So to compensate, we've made adjustments to a few of their existing core set cards, and we've removed some underutilized pieces like Corvus Bloodthorn and Sightless Watcher in favor of Immolation Aura, Illidari Studies, and Kane Sun Fury. In the Druid core...
So I'm like, this is kind of like a personal thing, but I'm like not a fan of the Demon Hunter playstyle. Just like, draw a bazillion cards, deal bazillion damage. Like, I am just not big on that. Like, I don't know. It's just like, I wish there was more like playing for board and like, I don't know, it's just, ugh, I hate DH.
Core set, we've made some changes to iconic Druid cards to make them a bit more competitive.
Make them more competitive. This costs more mana and it has less attack. Am I drunk? I mean, it had more health, but like, is that even a buff? Like, is that really a buff? It's a 5 mana 5/6 with Taunt. And then it's gonna be a 6 mana 4/9. So you 1 mana higher, 1 attack lower for 3 health. That's worse. And the rush is worse too. Because it used to be a 5, what was it? 5/5 rush? 5/6, 5/4 rush. Like you, well, 5 from 5/4 to, so it's +2/+2 for 1 mana. That's also like arguable. Is it even better? Like, I am not convinced to like, it might be better, but that's like, to make them more competitive, like, I don't see it. Like, they need to keep the mana cost the same and not lower the attack on the taunts. Like, I don't know, that's kind of weird. This is obviously strictly better. So this used to be a 7 mana 5/5. So these cards are better. So this costs 1 less mana. I don't know if we'll see play, but maybe in some token Druid, like, who knows. Not much to say about that. But the Angel of Lore is now, it's +2/+2 health. And it restores more health as well. It used to be restore 5 and 5. So that's strictly an upgrade. This is like not even necessarily like a buff. Kind of weird that they did it like this. I think they should have kept the mana the same and just give it like 1 more health and only like each or something. If they really wanted to make it better.
More competitive. Mounted Raptor, Earthen Scales, and Fandral Staghelm will be leaving core in favor of a group of cards originally released in the Madness at the Darkmoon Fair expansion. Solar Eclipse, Lunar Eclipse, and Kiri, Chosen of Elune.
I actually really like this. Like, I actually thought the Lunar Eclipse was pretty cool. And the Solar Eclipse is good, so I'm kind of glad to see these come back. And also, like, gives Druid some stuff. You can go for, like, more, like, spell Druid. I like this. I don't know if we're gonna play the Kiri, probably not. That doesn't seem necessarily worth it. I think this is gonna be a bad card, but Solar Eclipse and Lunar Eclipse have their moments.
To strengthen the Hunter secret pool, Snake Trap will be rotating out of core in favor of Wandering Monster and Cat Trick. Some other Hunter highlights
Wandering Monster is pretty legit. Cat Trick, yeah, sure. Having had like your hero, summon a 3-cost minion as the new target. It's a good secret. Because it like stops damage immediately too, and then like 2 mana 3-drop. This is really nice. I actually like playing this in like control style hunters and everything. So I don't know about the Cat Trick. I might not play that, but this will find its way to a lot of my hunter decks if I play hunter. It's not like my top class to play, but I do like the Wandering Monster.
Some other Hunter highlights include the removal of Cloaked Huntress, Dire Frenzy, and Houndmaster Shaw, and the addition of Jeweled Macaw, Doggy Biscuit, and Dragonbane. For Mage, we're reinforcing an elemental sub-theme with cards like Arcane Artificer and Flame Geyser.
I love the Arcane Artificer. Yes, let's go. I'm not sure it will be good enough. I think there's been some power creep, so I'm not convinced that this will be great, but it might be. It might have some uses. Well, we'll see. Like, I like this. This used to be one of my favorite cards.
We're also
Mage.
heating things up
One
a
of my
bit with
favorites
fire
in Mage.
spells like Fire Sail and Firelands
It's like
Portal.
control one drop. Firelands.
To make
Okay,
room for
Firelands
these
Portal.
additions-
So I think Firelands Portal. I think the time has gone by on this one. This is not good anymore. Probably. It used to be really, really good on standard when it was new. Like this was a really strong card, but I don't think it'll be good anymore. I think 7 mana is too much. There's so many, like, you can play a Colossal for that almost, like, in many classes. Like, that's just, I don't think that's gonna cut it. Random 5 cost me, it's just not what it used to be. And Fire Sale, we know what Fire Sale is. It's like a cool, like, basic board clear, basically.
Firelands Portal. To make room for these additions, Ethereal Conjurer, Cone of Cold, and Pyromaniac will be rotating out.
That's fine.
We wanted to identify which of Paladin's core identities was serving them best. So we've reinforced Silverhand Recruits and Hand Buff, with Muster for Battle, Grime Street Outfitter, and Lothraxian the...
So Master of Battle used to be amazing when it was in standard. It's probably still playable. I think it'll be, like, playable, but I don't think it's gonna be as amazing as it used to be. Definitely not. Like, there's been a lot of power creep. I think it was from, like, kind of a weak set, too, so... It used to be a staple, but I think now it will be, like... I think it's even possible it won't see play, but we'll see. It is, like, a 3-3 for... Yeah, but Crime Street Outfitter, okay, this is pretty legit actually. Now it's a 2-2. The buff makes all the difference. Give all the minions in your hand, like 2 mana 2-2. I think this might be okay. You need to have some minions where the hand buffs matter, and I don't know, like hand buffs is it too fair and square? Like in a game that in 2023 is a lot about cheating mana. Like it might be the play style of buffing minions in hand and then playing them might just be that it's not that good, but it looks like a fine card to me. It's pretty close to... We should compare it to the 3 mana guy. Yeah, this is exactly what this is. So I think Bannerman was better. And Bannerman rotates out. Draw a minion, give minions in here. Because it was only 1 mana more for, like, draw a minion. But hey, I mean, sure, why not? Maybe it's not that great, though. Lothraxian, the redeem. Who's this? For the rest of the game, after you summon a Silverhand Recruit, give it Divine Shield. I'm like not on board with the Silverhand Recruit thing. Like, I don't think it's an interesting deck. I don't think it's an interesting playstyle. If it is a deck, if the Silverhand Recruit Paladin is actually a deck, like, sure, this will be pretty good, right? And then you play the Master too, but I don't really care about that strategy, honestly.
The Redeemed. We've also gone through and buffed up classic Paladin cards like True Silver Champion, Consecration, and Hammer of...
I don't think that's... I don't think this is still seeing play, maybe. These are interesting changes, though. Consecration definitely needed that. Like, Consecration at 4 was, like, freaking horrible. It was just awful. So, like, this was much needed. I think all of these are, like... I didn't expect to see these buffs, but I think these are pretty, like, fair. I do like this. It's kind of like Slam buff was, right? But Slam still is not getting played, so... This is, like, a worse Slam most of the time. I mean, sure, you can go on face. I think it's too expensive still. True Silver Champion heals for 1 extra. Or kind of 2 extra because 1 on each hit. I might see play again, like if you need healing really badly. Like might be a deck list in Paladin where you don't have, for example, you don't have many weapons or you don't have many 4 mana cards. It might make the list. I think it was already like an okay card. Maybe a little underplayed even. But yeah, these are like fine changes, but I'm not like, oh my god, I'm gonna put this in my deck. Like, no. No. Equality Consecration is a 5 mana full clear now. So that's significant, like because Equality is staying, I believe. So having that as an option, like Equality Consecrate for turn 5 instead of turn 6 is a huge difference. Like, turn 6, it's often too late. You're already dead against aggro. So, and I think that, because it's a holy spell. Is this guy rotating out? Hold on. Fractured Alderac Valides. So, yeah, you won't be able to draw the Consecration with that. I don't know. But these are good changes. I like these buffs for sure. They all needed buffs.
Wrath, and removed the Secret Paladin identity for the time being to balance everything out. While Paladin is saying goodbye to secrets, Rogue will be receiving some extra support for secrets to assist their cards from Murder at Castle Nathria. Cheat Death, Plagiarize, and Ambush will be moved.
Oh my god. After your opponent plays a minion, summon a 2-3 ambusher with poison. At the end of your turn, copy all the... Yeah, well, yeah, the cheat deaths. It has its moments in the right deck.
Moving into the core set and helping make rogue secrets feel a bit more secretive. We're also bringing back some old favorite rogue cards with buffs. Elven Minstrel will be returning with 3 health, and Fen of Knives will know.
I hate this. Like, I wanted Rogue to, like, kind of crash and burn for a little while. And I think the Elven Minstrel is actually, like, really good because Shadow Step is staying too. So there might be moments where you, like, Elven Minstrel, Shadow Step, and you just, like, draw 4 minions. I think that there was the one Rogue card that's going out. Like, this is going out, right? Fortune Baron. So it's kind of, like, replaced the Shroud, but it just... Rogue really didn't need another strong, like, core set card. Like, I think this goes to pretty much, like, every Rogue deck, and it's just... It's easy to combo as Rogue. Rogue is not losing almost anything. Like, the Rogue cards that are rotating out from core set were, like, all trash. There was Sprint, like, some decks played Sprint, but not the best decks. So, like, the cards that are rotating out, none of the best decks played them. But instead, there's, like, 2 really good cards coming in now. Fan of Knives, so now you can prep and play a 0 and a Fan of Knives. Draw a card. It's only 1 damage, yeah, but, like, you can spell power boost it and stuff. I don't think Rogue needed buffs on these. Like, if you bring these back, you could just bring, like, the original versions. It's not like Rogue needed more help. I really don't feel that. And how bad would it be if Rogue was a little bit weak right now? Like, imagine you brought this back as a 3-2 and, like, this was 3 mana. What if Rogue wasn't top tier? That would be fine. Like, Rogue can suck for a little while. Just, Rogue doesn't need to be really fucking good. Because we had Rogue expansion after Rogue. Like, Rogue has really had the spotlight for a very long time. Like, it's the highest. Okay, only 21% right here today, but ew, my win rate, by the way, that was not good. But it's just, I don't think Rogue needed more, like, reducing mana on this and adding stats to this, bringing back good cards, removing no good cards. I don't like it.
I'll cost 2 mana. For the Shaman core set, we'll be rotating out cards like Rockbiter Weapon, Tidal Surge, and Maelstrom Portal in favor of bringing in additional Overload and Totem synergy, such as Ancestral Knowledge, Overdraft, Thing from Below, and...
This is probably not as good as it used to be. I don't know about the totems. At the end of the day, give +1 to all other totems in your hand, deck, and battlefield. I mean, the totem, like, archetype, it's probably gonna suck, but if it is good, it can be fun to play, maybe. That's clearly what's happening here, like, they're bringing back totems, but the other one that's getting, like, Overload, this has been buffed. This used to be Overload too. This is actually a legit card now. Like, Overload is somehow... If Overload is somehow, like, beneficial to you, like, this is one of the core cards, absolutely. Like, Shaman card throw has been a little lacking, so... I don't know if Ancestral Knowledge is gonna play it in, like, every Shaman deck, but this is pretty good card now, I would say. I do expect to see this played, at least in some Shaman decks. Overdraft, I don't have much to say about that. Depends how good Overload decks are, and we don't know how good Overload decks are yet, so...
And Grand Totem Eyesore. Warlock will be receiving some Big Demon and Control cards, like Enhanced Dreadlord, Void Caller, Mal'Ganis, and Defile.
Oh, I missed this! Like, chat said it that it was Defile, but when I first watched the video, I actually didn't see this. Wow. So, Control Warlock, they might actually be back, baby. I would love to play some Control Warlock. Control Warlock has been like... Yeah, we had Curse Warlock, sure. We had Curse Warlock, but... I wanted to just play, like, kind of like... customizable Warlock deck with the cards that I want to play in it and, like, have Control-style gameplay. I am actually a big fan of the Void Caller. This might be pretty cool to have. If there's some other big demons, like we can Void Caller cheat out this and Mal'Ganis. Like, yeah, I'm actually excited for Warlock. This is great. I am with this. If I was unhappy about Rogue, I'm definitely happy about Warlock.
File. Replacing Tiny Knight of Evil, Darkshire Librarian, and High Priestess Jekyll.
The discard
For the Warrior class, we've removed a number of underutilized cards like Fiery War Axe, Armor Smith.
So I actually thought for real that they would buff it to 2 mana. I was so sure they would make it 2 mana. I'm glad I didn't like place any bets or like gamble or anything, but like I really thought they would bring it back. I thought Warrior, that was like the kind of thing where like everyone would just pop like Warrior's back, baby, yeah, because everyone's looking for the Warrior cards, right? But they did not do it. They just removed it.
Gore Howl and Darius Crowley.
Because there has been like like so much power creep that as OP as Fiery Warlocks used to be at 3, I think they could have gotten away with it at 2 right now, especially considering how bad Warrior is overall.
And in their place, we've added some stronger removal and defensive options like Blade Storm, Dynomatic, and Armagadillo.
Okay, back to Fiery Warlocks. Okay, so sorry, I can't let it go. So I just like, if there was ever a time to like, because it's one of those like fan favorites, like when it got nerfed, people were so hecky mad about like Fiery Warlocks, because it was every warrior's favorite card. If there's ever a time to like bring back the original Fiery Warlocks, like this was it. This was the perfect moment to bring back a 2-mana Fiery Warlocks, and they didn't do it. Honestly, I'm like a little disappointed here, but I mean that's just my opinion, and yeah. Blade Storm. Okay, let's talk about these cards. Blade Storm is very pog. Deal 3 damage to all minions. Repeat until 1 dies. Yeah, I mean, it's probably a pretty good card, right? I don't remember how good this was or how good it used to be or whatever, but if there's only 1 minion on board, like playing Control Warrior, sure. Dynomatic, so there's probably going to be some kind of like mech warrior team where like there might be some like other class card mechs coming for warrior or something. So when you play this, like it can hit friendly minions too. If you have non-mechs, it used to be a pretty okay card, but I feel like they could have buffed the stats on this to make it like 5-4 or something. Like Warrior just needs more than this. Like Warrior needs so much help. This isn't enough. This is not enough help. Dynomatic is not enough help for Warrior. Is Blade Storm enough help for Warrior? I don't think so. We'll see. Armagadillo. So this is a very cool card. I actually like this card. At the end of your turn, keep all taunt minions in your hand +2/+2. I'm excited to try some Taunt Warrior. Also, the card by itself, like the 6-mana 4/8, that's pretty okay stats. I don't know if Taunt Warrior is gonna be a thing, but it should be a pretty fun playstyle to me personally. So Armagadillo, I don't know if it's the savior of Warrior, but I'm excited to give it a go. But overall, just I don't know, man. Like if you buffing fucking rogue cards, like why? Like rogue is amazing. Like why are we buffing rogue cards and then like we don't buff the warrior cards? Like what? Like if you have to pick one, what do you pick? Like do you pick the class that has been the best class for like 2 expansions or 3 expansions or like 5 patches, or the one that has sucked, so completely sucked, and it continues to suck 44% right now? That's actually higher than it used to be. It's just looks like Rogue is not doing too hot. Maybe that's why. I actually thought Rogue would have been higher up, but maybe Rogue is like way worse at like low ranks than it is at high ranks. It might be like at high ranks people are just better players. Like maybe Rogue takes a little bit more than Warrior or something. Anyway, let's continue.
That wraps up our class highlights for the core set. We can't wait to join you for an adventurous Year of the Wolf. Something we're excited to do throughout the Year of the Wolf is to be more flexible with our core set in general. Whether that means balance changes, rotating cards early, or introducing new cards during the year to support expansion releases. We want to truly craft the core set to serve our players as the year unfolds. With that, be sure to check out the Year of the Wolf blog for the full list of changes. Finally, we have the Festival of...
So I had like a back and forth a little bit with the developer about that, like 2 months ago, was it? 2 months ago with Aleko. I was like suggesting like because it was like the patch was a little like late in my view, so I was like, oh yeah, because like you can't change the core cards that easily right now, blah blah blah. There was a lot of this was like a long thing, but anyway, I ended up suggesting like, what if you like just plan to like revisit the like core set like 2 times a year or 3 times a year, like. So I suggested, like, what if you open the core set? And I'm not saying this is happening because I suggested it or gave them the idea. Maybe they thought of the same thing. But either way, I am very happy that it's happening, that core set will be, like, you know, reevaluated throughout the year.
Of Legends kicking off in just a couple weeks, so get your favorite band tee and mixtape ready because it's going to be a banger. You can log in right now to get ETC Band Manager as a free login reward during pre-purchase. Until next time. We'll see you in the tavern.
I think it makes so much sense to, like, you know, if there's a new mechanic and you have an old card that's a good fit, and, like, you know, because you also don't know where the balance is gonna lie exactly. So like, it's impossible to know exactly where the balance will be like 8 months from now or whatever. All right, so what else? Keyword update, tradable. Yeah. That's cool. These are back. That's good. Magnetic returning. We already kind of talked about this. Overheal. It might be fun, but I'm not particularly excited about it right now. Okay, so God's leaving, God's entering. I like this Druid. I like the eclipses. I'm gonna go through these like kind of quickly. Is there anything? If there's anything I'll miss, I'll point it out. Not gonna miss those. Wandering Monster, cool. Galega's Flame Strike, Pyromaniac, okay. Not gonna miss those. Arcane Artificer, I'm on board. That's very cool. I don't know if the Stargazer Luna is gonna be good. Flame Gazer, we'll see if I need like Fire Spell for something. Arcane Artificer is big thumbs up. I love the Light Lord, Alder. These were not getting played. But we get the Dude Bala stuff, so I'm not too big on that. Crime Street may be interesting. Murozond out, Lyra. Radiant, thank god, out. Northside, oh my god, I'm so happy they took the Cleric out too. Because like Cleric had those like draw the entire deck gameplay where you just have Wild Pyromancer or something and then just But the new Priest cards, like these are honestly like, I'm not big on these. I do like Shard staying though. Because Shard would have rotated out. I actually kind of like Shard. I think it's a very like Priest card. It's very powerful. It's probably because it's like tradable, they're keeping it so. So the Shard is kind of like the most bulk card here. I wouldn't have. I kind of wish that they had this rotate out for now and maybe brought it back next year because I don't like playing as the Shadow deck that much. But whatever. So this is the hot potato right here. So Cold Blood, Plague Scientist, like these were not getting played. Rogue is really good, at least at my ranks. But the cards that they lost Assassin's Blade, chat. They lost Assassin's Blade. No one was playing Assassin's Blade. Like these cards that they're bringing back for, like this is like Rogue is one of the like. You look at Priest, you're not sure if this is getting stronger or weaker. You can't tell really, right? Probably weaker because we lose Radiant. You look at this, like is Paladin getting weaker or stronger? Probably weaker, right? But when you look at the Rogue cards, this is clearly getting stronger. Like Rogue is definitely getting stronger, and it's so backwards to me with like how popular Rogue has been. Like can't tell. Like maybe it's like staying the same here. Stronger. Okay, Hunter is getting stronger, I think. Shaw was pretty good, but like I think Hunter is getting a little stronger. But like, why are we buffing Rogue again? Like, why? Why are we buffing Rogue? Shaman, okay, Kragva, Manatine, Maelstrom, Tidal Surge, Struckbiter out, Zap, and then we get like Overload and Totem synergy. Yeah, Shadow Step needed to leave, yes. Yes, it did. I agree. Because they had new Shadow Steps too. Warlock, I am excited for Warlock. This is one of the highlights for me. Like, out of the core set. Like, this Void Caller Malkani stuff. Like, this is... Yes! Control Warlock, baby. Let's go! I wanted to play Control Warlock, and I think I'm gonna get it now. Because like, you see it here's like teams. Like, okay, what is Shaman getting? Shaman's getting Totems. Totem guys, like the Isor and thing from below. That's like Totem team, and then this Overlord team. So you can like tell what's happening here. So those are the two teams that are coming back for this, and like Rogue is getting secrets, but Warlock is actually getting control stuff. We are getting demons, but demons is not a Smork playstyle, so that's very exciting. Control. Good spells, because Warlock spells have been a little lacking. 4 damage to a minion and your hero, sure, whatever. Discard going away, thank god, I hated that stuff. It was so boring. I wasn't playing any of this, so not gonna miss any of those Warlock cards. Warrior cards, these were not really getting played too much. I do think this is an improvement for Warrior, but if we are doing like the buffs like we did with Rogue, like I'm kind of repeating myself, I'm sorry. But yeah, so I kind of wish that there was maybe some like Warrior card buffs really to like send a message to Warrior players like, dude, we are listening to your feedback and we love you, and here, please take this this buffed card and enjoy it, you know. But I do honestly think that these are better than what they took out. So, all right, neutrals. League of Explorers out. I like this. I like these changes like a lot. I didn't expect Reno to get removed because I think that Reno is like having Reno in core set is like 100% positive. I don't think there's any toxic effect caused by Reno, but I think Reno can like give some fun moments. It can be some like enjoyable singleton decks. So I am a little surprised that they did this. I just don't see the upside in removing Reno, but I'm okay with it. It's not a big deal. Rag, Dr. Boom, probably time has passed them by. Ziliax, so Ziliax at its time actually was played in like every deck. Because it's like removal lifesteal, and you still get like... It's interesting, because there has been power creep since that too. But it is very interesting. If you play this with mechs and you have a mech leave, you can like, you know, combine the Ziliax and then you get a big heal immediately. So we'll see. They killed Highlander for this year. Yeah, it's fine though. Like, I hope they bring it back next year. But yeah, what else? Not gonna miss these, Viper, Ooze is out, but we have the Viper, so that's okay. Mistress of Mixers is going out. I liked Mistress, but they brought back, here's a highlight for you guys. Armor Vendor, I freaking love Armor Vendor. That's one of the best, like, this is definitely a Savjz card right here. I'm very happy about this one. Armor Vendor, besides the Dirt, I'll get that. Okay, I'm like bouncing around. So yeah, Armor Vendor, I'm really glad it's back, because that's a good card. It's like a control deck 1-drop. And with armor, it's different than heal, because you don't overheal. You don't like over armor, you know. So this is very nice. I am happy about this. And the Dirty Rat, of course. Ooh. Against aggro decks, just being able to, you know, like if they're like high end is some kind of like, you know, finisher battle cry, you can take it out of their hand, or whatever like board clears you have, you can play Dirty Rat before a board clear. Like just with how dominant battle cries tend to be, like you can kind of like get one out of their hand and just force your opponents into a little bit of like uncomfortable positions. So yeah, one of my favorite cards of all time. 2 mana 2/6 Taunt. It's just so good, dude. Control decks often don't also like have very good like 2 mana plays necessarily. So what else do we have here? Did they buff this? Did this used to be a 3/1, or I'm not sure. Maybe it was in Battlegrounds it was a 3/1. Replicating Menace. That's actually interesting, because like it was a 3/1. Like this might be playable. Oh, it's 4 mana. It's 4 mana. Okay, so it's not that good. Okay, I didn't notice it was 4 mana. It's probably not that amazing then. I thought it was 3 mana. I was just like, whoa, like 3/2 and a 3/1 ones. That would be like 6/5 stats, but okay, at 4 mana maybe it's fine. I think it's interesting that they brought back the magnetic taunts. I like it. I don't know exactly in what deck and how, but this is a defensive card. I like this. Magnetic Taunt, 2/5. You can play it by itself as a 2/5 sometimes too. They really like, in these neutrals, there's a lot of juicy neutrals. Because I want to play every deck in control, you know? I want to at least try playing every deck in control. So there's a lot of like staples here. We got a solid 1-drop that armors, solid 2-drop disruption, then like some healing core that we might be able to use, and some deck cards. I like it. I like it a lot. Penguin was brought back. Tour Guide doesn't matter. Mummy don't care. Shark probably not seen play. Viper is still there. I wish they brought back Harrison Jones, but it's fine. But overall, like when I look at these neutrals, like this is a big improvement. Like the game is going to be more fun with these new neutrals. Like when I look at the left side, I'm not going to miss like any of this really. When I look at the right side, there's a lot to be excited about. So I'm very happy with this. Overall, honestly, I think this is pretty good. Like core set, you know. Like yeah, I already harped about the Rogue so much. I don't want to like, you know, talk about that anymore. But maybe Rogue won't be that good and we'll be fine. But yeah, exciting stuff, guys. That is a good rotation. Like I've been like looking forward to this. On Monday they like they all the cards getting. Oh, we need to look at these too. These are the cards that are getting adjusted, right? So on Monday they announced that they will announce this week, and I am certainly satisfied with what overall and what they came up with for the core set. We didn't know what would happen, and this was it. So here we go. Hex is 3 mana again. Okay, that's nice. Shaman needed some help, so Hex is one of like staples control Shaman cards. That's really great, because like it's definitely part of like Shaman identity. 4 mana, it just wasn't like, you know, it wasn't any good in the current year. So so that's awesome. One of the bigger changes. These healths here don't really matter that much. Hellfire 3 mana. High main 7/5. That's kind of surprising. Like, it feels a little unnecessary, but sure. Like, I don't mind it. It's a little weird. Flame Reaper. Okay, good stuff. I would rate this course at 8.5 out of 10. That took forever. I was still like 2 hours of talking. I'm feeling it in my throat right now. I've been just talking.